evening, Patriots, and welcome to the Q Lounge Live. Hi, I am your host, Shady Groove, joined by my co-host at In the Matrix. It is just after 7 p.m. on the West Coast, 10 p.m. on the East Coast, Friday night. Patriots winning from shore to shore, sea to shining sea. What a wonderful group we have here tonight. Everybody, please come around, join us on the Q Couch. This is our meeting place. We come together here every week and we have a circle, we have a discussion, and we break down the latest stuff going on with Q. Everyone out there, if you are new to Q, welcome. This is an amazing group of people here that are here to help and to help let you in on the greatest information dissemination project the world has ever known. We have the deep state in our grasp. We have them doing what we want them to do. They are deteriorating their credibility at every turn, one after another. Winning. You guys are doing it. Anyone out there, please do not hesitate. If you have a question, to throw it up there. Maybe one of the mods can give you some sauce or provide you a link, but these guys are going to be here as we talk and showing you some pretty incredible stuff. The things that we discuss here are very complicated and hard to believe sometimes, but we dig into them with an open mind and a think for yourself attitude. And without any further ado, my co-host and partner in justice, Mr. at intheMatrixxx from Twitter. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, how are you? I'm great, Shady. Just had a nice, relaxing time. Went out with my daughter and my mom, and we had a nice evening. I kind of unplugged from the Matrix. I even forgot my phone. Wow, it was awesome.
Did your lady have anything to do with that, or did you do it on your own?
No, it was actually just kind of like I forgot it, but nobody was upset. Nobody was upset, and Q left us alone, let us have to take a break, so we're all kind of absorbing all of the Q posts that have taken place this last week, just on fire. And we're through 2 of 9. So what is 3 of 9 to come? So that's coming soon. So stay tuned. Something we'll be dropping here shortly, I would imagine.
Yeah, I was actually just checking right before we went on the air to see if we're getting some more tidbits coming in. The the couple that we got already were amazing this week, guys. We're going to dig into some of the stuff that has really been going on that Q is pointing us to and providing you guys with a lot of stuff to share with your friends who are maybe a little bit too much tuned into the social media. It'll give them a little bit of information to make it seem like maybe it's not as fun and free as we all once thought. So we're going to dive into some of that here. Also wanted to say right at the beginning, today is International Women's Day, and so really want to make a shout out to all the ladies out there for all of the patriotic work that you guys are doing for this movement. We could not be here without you for sure, and it's an amazing aspect of this movement is the swell of patriotism around America, and the idea that we are all together in this. We're not separated, we're not divided. And it's also, today, Matrix, is the 777th day of the Trump presidency. Wow, huh?
777. Wow, that's a great number. I like that number.
Yes, and also we're at minus 11 day.
Negative 11 day, coming up to negative 10. So here we go. 777. What is it? It's an angel message about moving on a path towards something better in life. I believe something to that effect. So that fits right in with what we're seeing, what's happening. 777 days. Are you guys tired of winning yet? I mean, we have been winning consistently for 777 days.
And that's a pretty good streak considering our history, Matrix. All the stuff that we've learned about our true history and how much winning we have not been able to do as a nation or as a republic. The facts of the matter are we weren't free for that many years, but we were the most wealthy middle class ever created on planet Earth for a short time, and you guys are helping us get back to that. I think that's what the end goal being inside is what everyone's looking at, and we had 5 shows this week. Matrix, are they tired of us out there?
I don't know. This is our 6th one, man. I press 2 if you're tired of us. Press 1 if you're not. How about that?
I'm not sure how the stream is going. I'm sure that we're probably buffering out there. More than likely, I can't tell just yet. But if we
I
are,
don't see. Yep, I don't see any buffering right now. Shady looks clean.
all
So five
right.
five.
That's great. Great news to hear. We were trying to do a restream thing on Periscope to broaden the audience a little bit, and I think we've backed away from doing the restream at the same time. And we may be putting this cast on Twitter in the morning or something for you guys for a Saturday morning for maybe some people that can't make it over here in the evening. But yes, we did. We
Yeah.
had a great week and lots of
Oh,
different stuff. We
ones.
were able all ones, no twos.
No, look at all those ones, man. Oh my gosh. Chat, you guys rock. Look at even extra ones from Poussin. Poussin is all oneed up right now. Nice ones. Nice ones, guys.
Thanks so
Hey,
much for all the support out there.
yep. Yep. And I am seeing a little bit of buffering, guys. So if you do see a little bit of buffering, just go ahead and back up the stream just a couple of minutes or so. It should be okay. Poussin says it's bad buffering. So yeah, you got some buffering going on here, Shady. Let me just back it up, see if that does it. Also, let's just go ahead and put the quality down to, what am I at? 144p. Put it, yeah, I'm just kidding. Maybe put it down to 480, see if that works better, guys. Okay, just try to figure it out. Buffering, YouTube, gotta love us. Thank you, YouTube.
Yeah, really apologize for that, guys. Hopefully we can get through it without them cutting the stream off. It's happened before. It might happen again. Just hold with us, stick with us. We'll get through it. It's always a pain. It seems like they're coming after us pretty consistently, though. So keep an eye on it there, Matrix, at your terminal, and make sure that we're still coming through. And let me know if we lose anything on your end.
5.5, man. So yeah, so I put it to 480, and I'm good. It looks clear. So let's continue, man. So we'll get through this. Some Cynthia saying, we're fading in and out, we're buffering, but I backed us up a little bit. I don't see any issues so far, but refresh if you guys can real quick too. So, okay, Shady, let's get on with it, man. This is the Q Lounge Live. This is one of my favorite times because it's the late night show for Q, essentially. This is this is like a couch. We're going to be getting more guests coming on, Shady. I'm just excited. I love the way that you host this show. I'm addicted, and I'm just so glad to be a part of it. So happy to be a part of it. So happy to be here with you. So happy to be here with you guys here at YouTube. And let's kick off this Q Lounge Live, brother.
All right, guys. Well, I wanted to start off tonight with an article here that came in this week that was from Zach Haler, who I was doing a little bit of perusing there. And this man, he came through and wrote an actually good positive article about you guys and about the Q movement and what it really is, and debunking the Washington Post a little bit here. So this was really great. I commend anyone out there who's actually reading what is going on with Q and being honest about it. I think that's the big thing we're having a problem with, is people who are being honest about Q and what it really is. But this was a fairly accurate article. We're not anticipating on people jumping right on and understanding all of this stuff, but we are expecting folks to be fair out there. So this was one article I wanted to share with you guys tonight, just so you can see that you're getting some positive press, and that this article actually includes actual Q posts and actual information about what it is that we're doing and about where the money was going and how how it should be something the news talks about, of the billions of dollars that we sent overseas and the $600 million that we give to Amazon, who owns the Washington Post, who writes negative articles about Patriots and Q. It's circular journalism, and a lot like what you saw the deep state do with the president. They planted articles in the media, then they point to the articles and say, oh, well, these articles are evidence that your president has colluded with the Russians. That narrative has fallen on its head this week. Since we were with you last, the House committees, multiple House committees, now have issued 81 request, or 81 different people. They've requested pretty much every document that they've ever had. They're trying to bankrupt these people. They're trying to intimidate these people into saying things that they wouldn't say. So this has been a pretty intense week for outing the swamp, so to speak. And this article I just wanted to drop with you so you can share with other people who are saying, oh, well, what is this Q thing? It's not anything anybody's really talking about. Man, the number of people coming to this conversation is amazing. It really is phenomenal to see how much conversation we're actually having out there, and to see how much stuff Q has dropped to us this week. This is just insane from one side to the other of the topics matrix. I mean, we're going from FISA into Google to Facebook to Denver Airport to
Yeah.
comms about fire packages that caught on fire that were all of a sudden called bombs the day before they happened. All of this stuff going on this week, guys. So we're all acting as if we're the fly on the wall, but at the same time, we're in charge of moving the information around on the web. So I'm seeing a lot of great people coming to Twitter and really helping out with that, Matrix.
Yeah, absolutely. And this article is awesome, Shady.
It really is.
Uh,
It's very good and it's very fair.
yeah, I didn't see it. Where is this from? Can you drop it? I didn't see it dropped in there. I
I
didn't.
thought
I
I
would have
dropped it
dropped
in
it.
there, but I'll get it here again for you guys
Yeah,
so you can have it.
that's
But
amazing.
but it really is good, and it's accurate, and he picks apart the Washington Post hit piece. The Washington Post did the hit piece on
Yeah,
Mr. Sather, and kind of tried to paint him in the light, and then we had the we had we had the pleasure of being a hit piece on NBC this week, where they immediately start talking about lizard people. Matrix and I on the Matrix Groove Hour earlier, we searched the Q map there. We couldn't find anything about lizard people, could we?
no, 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 I couldn't.
I,
But we did find the baby thing. We did find that star, right? That what's that guy from The Office? What's his name again? I always forget his name.
Rain.
Um, yeah, Rain. That's right, Rain. But we did find that. But it's not to make them look good or anything like that. It's just because they're disgusting Satanists. I mean, that video from NPC, right, Shady? I love that. Was absolutely hilarious, and I think we should actually just kind of tear that apart one time and just show what they say. Stop. That's what I was trying to do, but our stream was so messed with it that day I couldn't even get it to work right on the video. But we should take that bit by bit and just do a rebuttal.
Well, yeah, it was a good job, and like I said, it's nice to see someone who's actually doing it. I mean, that's journalism. What you witness in that article is a little bit of real citizen journalism, and that's the conversation we're trying to have. Someone having an objective perspective that isn't committed either way. So very good article there. Wanted to throw that out to you guys, and this is something else that Matrix and I wanted to talk about. The Q research, the new Q research site here that I am
Yes,
dropping.
Resi.
Yes,
This is
Resi. This is great, Matrix. This gives you the ability to like search key phrases, and then it gives you number of Q posts it's in, uh, what the order is, all the other search terms from that, whether it's a number of a post or from any part of the board. So the Q research board, not just the
multiple
Q
boards.
post, right? So
Multiple boards. It's got the calm before the storm board, so it goes to all the boards and searches
the
everything.
president's tweets, the arrests,
Yes.
the executive order. So this gives you a little bit of an outline here on the front. I dropped that link to you guys, and then also the latest posts. So this information coming together and being being made easier to access each day is what I think Q meant whenever he said, "Get organized, be loud, be strong, be heard, be free, create." And bring the information out of the echo chamber, and that's what is so important. That's the leg of this journey that we're kind of on right now, as we take the information that we get, and then we compile that with the events that happen, and then we hang that over here with all the other stuff going on in the current news. It starts to line up. It starts to make sense, and we're moving into March Madness here. We are 11 days to go on the countdown, and just maybe to throw this out there to you guys, uh, dates and stuff we're careful with, and we're careful with that for a reason, because of credibility, reality, and saying, oh, 11 days something major is going to happen, and you make all these posts, and then the next thing you know, people on Twitter are coming at you a little bit. But that's not a bad thing, and I want you to recognize that it isn't a bad thing. It's getting eyeballs on it and people paying attention to it. If you become curious and you start to dig on this, you're going to understand it. If you are someone who is pre-decided, then you've pretty much already decided, and your mind's not going to change anyway. So lots and lots of great anons out there. bringing this information to you. And so I wanted to highlight this site from Resi. Very, very great work. Again, Anon's winning. Who would have thought it? A year, 17 months, and we're winning every single day. 777 days of winning for you guys so far.
Yep, and that will be on intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com. I don't know if Webmaster got a chance to do it, but it's being incorporated into our site as well, and we'll show you where that is, just in case you forget the link. We'll have it for you.
I'm gonna dive down. We're not gonna go through. If we were to go through all the Q posts in the last week, guys, we would be here for 2.5 hours. So we're gonna hit some highlights because I've got some more in-depth stuff I want to share with you in a few minutes. But I want to bring your attention to a couple of Q posts in particular for you to focus on. Number 2959 here says it's titled "Obama gave the order to start the spy campaign, both domestic and foreign." You want to know what your media is hiding from you. This is what your media knows that they're hiding from you. This is not the only thing that they know that they're hiding from you, but this is one of the main things that they were protecting the past administration from. And this Q post says Hussein gave the order to start the spy campaign. It was logged officially to X 2 times, 1 time domestic, 1 time foreign. Fisk judge, White House meeting, ? White House visitor logs are important. Hussein library classification document move. Attempt to shelter and protect. Who has authority to obtain? More you know, Q. The reason I wanted to focus and maybe start right here real quick was that 2 things. 1, the Fisk judge being at the White House. Obviously, for this post, Q is telling you that they had the Fisk judge come to the White House at the specific time that they're trying to set the Trump campaign up, and the voter logs are important, and they hide their information. What do you use a presidential library for? To hide all the information that you don't want people to see, and then put it under a lock and key for 30 years until nobody cares about it. And the attempt to shelter and protect, who has the authority to obtain, and that would be your POTUS, and that would be the team of white hats that are currently working to undermine the global cabal. So the media that are so quiet about all things Obama, they go right along with there was never a scandal, no one ever did anything wrong. All this information has come out. All these people from the DOJ and the FBI that were put there by the past administration are gone now. They don't report on that. They don't focus on that. They don't tell you about that. And that, they spend their time focusing on things like this Empire actor Smollett, who now today, just a few minutes ago or earlier tonight, has had 15 or 16 felony indictments levied against him for faking this whole thing. I'm sure this guy's still running around out there acting like he didn't do anything wrong. And I want everyone to recognize why he would do that. Most normal people who have a conscience wouldn't do that after they were caught. He thinks he is protected. And the people that are quote unquote protecting him are telling him that he is protected and to continue to deny. The 2 brothers who he paid with a check to do this whole thing are going to be, I'm hoping that they're in some sort of protective custody out there, because they're in grave danger. And I don't think they may not realize that they're in grave danger. This Q post to me was amazing simply because it points straight to the truth. This is the truth we have. Remember how Q said, has the president ever tweeted anything that didn't turn out to be true? These are fact-based Q posts that are not disinformation or misinformation. Disinformation and misinformation does exist here, and we will adjust accordingly as this happens. But it's part of the think for yourself. It's part of learn to read the comms. It's part of using your creative ability to navigate on your own. Matrix and I have said it 100 times. We're not sitting here trying to convince you of anything. What we're doing is we're presenting information that we think is compelling in a way that we think is interesting, and it has become what it has become inadvertently. Quite frankly, who really thought that 17 months in we would be this close to an economy that is actually making moves against the global Fed, Matrix. I mean, we're seeing moves being made on the world stage against the global bankers.
Yeah, and I want to just echo your comment about, we're presenting information that we've researched and other people have researched, and everything's still open for digging. And we're still learning. We'll go back and we'll find more if you find some stuff. But the goal is to get everybody thinking for themselves and researching, because that's the way that we're all going to learn how to think for ourselves and use our discernment, right? Fact from fiction, our feelings from fact. So that's how we roll. So we'll just keep going, Shady. And that was very, very well said, by the way. We're not here to tell anybody what to think. We're here to look at, and by the way, Q's post, I do have to say this, Shady. Q's posts lately have been very straight and to the point, where my mom understands them. God bless her. So this is, remember we were joking around about that decode. So Shady, do you think Q is trying to say DARPA equals Facebook? We need to decode this, because I don't know, it's a little hidden, but right there it says DARPA equals Facebook. I mean, this has been outstanding. The drops have been outstanding.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's the difference that we're noticing. The direct comms, even the stuff that was released the day before the Barr thing, it was kind of put out there to us that this was getting ready to happen between Barr and Huber and what's going on in Utah. Direct comms. We're going to see a little bit of that here in a minute. We're going to get into the Facebook DARPA connection, because that is going to be our focus tonight. And real quick first, though, this Q Post 2960 gives us a link to this YouTube video and says, "Promises made and promises kept, Q. This is your POTUS, and I wanted to play him speaking to you for a minute and a half here." Let's enjoy this man speaking to us.
I want to do things. I keep hearing about investigations, fatigue. Like almost from the time I announced I was going to run, they've been giving us this investigation fatigue. It's been a long time. They got nothing, zero. You know why? Because there is nothing. But they can play that game, but we can play it better, because we have a thing called the United States Senate, and a lot of very questionable things were done between leaks of classified information and many other elements that should not have taken place. And all you're going to do is end up in back and forth and back and forth, and 2 years is going to go up, and we won't have done a thing. If that happens, then we're going to do the same thing, and government comes to a halt. There are many things we can get along on without a lot of trouble, that we agree very much with them and they agree with us. I would like to see bipartisanship. I'd like to see unity. And I think we have a very good chance of, and maybe not on everything, but I think we have a very good chance of seeing that.
If they start investigating you, that you can play that game and investigate
better than them.
Can you compartmentalize that?
And I think I know more than they know.
Can you compartmentalize that and still continue to work with them for the benefit of the rest of the country?
No.
Are all bets off?
No. If they do that, then it's just all it is a warlike posture.
And so then, wait a minute, then the follow-up.
You heard my answer. Go ahead.
Well, since it's Jim, I'll let it go. Okay.
I love how he actually deals with the media in that stern way. But I also really like the way that he brings the conversation directly to, I don't know, the media are obviously ignoring what he's really saying and twisting it and turning it and spinning it. But he speaks like you and I speak, and he does not talk around the bush. He doesn't talk in, hidden language. He isn't mincing words with us, everyone. And this guy has taken a heartfelt, I can't even describe how hard this guy is going out into the world and fighting for this country. Seeing him stand there last week, Matrix, at the CPAC thing, I mean, he did 2 hours there of probably one of the greatest speeches the man has ever made, as he talked about serious issues that everyone ignores, which is, the idea that we're killing Americans, fully developed American babies, and the idea that we have no free speech on college campuses anymore. And why are we giving state campuses money who are restricting speech? What do we need a campus for? What do we need a university for if we're going to be restricting the speech of the people? Okay, that is wrong. And the president stood right there and he told everyone, the place was going out of their minds over this. And I actually had all kinds of stuff to do last Saturday, Matrix. I ended up sitting there watching every minute of it. I couldn't go anywhere. I was just glued to him, speaking truth to power. And that sounds unusual. I'm talking to the president of the United States, but he is speaking truth to power. You've never seen a president up there actually speak to the established swamp like he was in charge. Every one of them have been weak-kneed puppets, and this is this is a breath of fresh air for, I think, all of us, everyone involved here.
Yeah, I mean, we're witnessing something that we've never seen before. I know we're saying these people were that past presidents were like weak-kneed, and yes, they were puppets, but they weren't fighting for us. They were doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They were successful in their eyes. In our eyes, we thought they were weak. We thought they were ridiculous. They could never get anything done, but they were getting stuff done against you and I. They weren't getting anything done for you and I. So yeah, I mean, this president is absolutely phenomenal. Again, Shady, you said it the other day. I have never been so proud to support a president ever in my lifetime.
It's phenomenal. Yes, and I wake up every day and I'm energized. I want to do whatever I can do to help. I don't have this overall feeling of we're headed down the wrong path. I've had that ever since I became awake. Watching all the events that happened in 9/11, all the stuff that we've dug on prior to Q that we knew, we weren't maybe connecting every dot, but we had a lot of that information. And it is a disorienting position for me as a conspiracy analyst human being to be in such support of him. And at the same time, I sit and know in my heart that if he was messing up, I would talk about it, Matrix. I'm not gonna just butter the
Same.
bread over here. It's like if you're doing something that I don't like, I have no issue with saying publicly that I'm not approving of that. I have none. It's just the honest truth. I'm not seeing any. I like the way he trolls. I like the way he talks in a comedic fashion. I like the sarcasm.
Yeah,
I like the realness of it. I feel like
he is
it
real.
is real.
And he doesn't have to do this, just like you said, right? Like, he just like he said. I mean, he's a billionaire. He could just go off and retire. Instead, he takes all these slings and arrows. And I still am working with my friends that are actually Trump supporters, but they still can't really, oh well, I wish he wouldn't tweet anymore. Wait a second. He is actually controlling the narrative, and we're helping that narrative control by our memes and by our digital army, our QArmy. We're going out there underneath the blue check marks and putting in the cool memes and engaging in conversation in that neutral ground, I call it. We're out of our little cage and we can actually talk with other people as well besides just us, right? Because we're censored. But we're here. I mean, this is just an absolute amazing, amazing, amazing time. We're I just can't get over it. This is and we will call it. I will call him out if there's something. I'm with you. I can't find anything yet. I called Ron Paul out when I didn't like some of his things, but I was a Ron Paul supporter. But there's a couple things I didn't like. I wish he was a little more statesman-like Trump. You know what I mean? He just didn't have the cojones, if you will.
Right, and he wasn't talking. He would say things about the Fed, but he wouldn't come out and say direct truths that were the problems with the economy. And I was a Ron Paul supporter too. I mean, pretty much since I became aware of our system and the corruption of the system and the way the system rigged against us since the banking learning about the Federal Reserve and all of that. It's really been as a libertarian, a person who is I feel like that doesn't matter what the government does, they mess it up. That's my position on it. The least amount that we put them in charge of, the better. And you can see the whole left wing of the Democratic Party going off the rails and talking about all this stuff like the Green New Deal and talking about healthcare for everyone. These are they seem like, oh, what an idea. This is just a conversation that we're starting. You guys have to understand that what they're saying is the government takeover of systems and of private business. Okay, like, you know, we're gonna eliminate private health insurance, and it's all gonna be just get on the government plan. Well, that doesn't sound good. Or we're gonna eliminate air travel. We're gonna re-engineer every single structure in America, and we're gonna do it with $100 trillion that we do not have and cannot find and will not ever be able to pay back. So if that is not a socialist takeover, hostile takeover attempt, I don't know what it is, and I don't know what else to point at to make people recognize that, except for some of the stuff that we're getting ready to go into about the social media on this. So here we go, guys. This is skipping up here to 2984, and the Q drops regarding Facebook. And I am going to read this long post here to you simply because it is all capital letters and needs to be read into the record of the Q Lounge to let everyone out there in the future know that we are on to them from the future proofs past reality. Facebook, returning to the news. LifeLog, DARPA ends. Facebook begins. LifeLog, DARPA team transferred to Facebook. What DARPA team members, past and present, work for Facebook? What divisions? Locate 3. 9 total. 6 non-public. Building 8 exposed here. When? 4/11/18. All the way last spring, guys, we started digging into that. Think Scramble, offline scrub, post Xbox, PlayStation chat logs drop. MS shutdown immediately post drop. Microsoft, I think that is. Building 8 news release, restructuring Building 8 release. 12/14/18 equals rest in peace. Then this TechCrunch article here talking about the restructuring of Building 8, separating projects and reality labs and portal groups, and this whole idea of privatizing your privacy. We're going to do better. RIP equals false. Reorganization equals true. China, 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 China. Open access, pay for play. Laws which prevent clown operations inside the homeland. Bulk data collection, NSA homeland. Bulk data collection, clowns homeland. How does the clowns avoid law trigger regarding umbrella spy homeland? Facebook, China, Building 8. Google, China, Dragonfly. Twitter, US leg, track. Facebook, track, user GPS, voice and text. Google, track, user GPS, voice and text. Twitter, track, user GPS. Phone, pad, microphone, also embed, all for marketing purposes as publicly disclosed. Who has access to the bulk track data? Who has access to bulk data? If NSA has ability to absorb data stream UT in-house tools, does Clown have the ability to collect data stream from funded networked offshoots? Big tech? Question mark. Offshoots necessary to avoid Clown breach of U.S. domestic law. Amazon Server Cloud contract. Amazon Server Cloud root data 1 through 99 domestic. Clowns tasked with gathering and analyzing info on foreign governments and individual signets.cov. NSA tasked with gathering and analyzing info on a global scale, including domestic signet-cov. What former U.S. president was CIA director? GHWB. Think Clown, Brennan, authority, spy, or authenticate, or authority, spy campaign, U.S. authorizes spy campaign, U.S. Senate under Hussein. Think Clown install campaign, U.S. House and Senate infiltration. Part 1 of 9. Matrix, what a drop. I mean, look at that. Look at the way, I mean, in this partial, this is not a sentence format. This is statement after statement after question after statement after question after statement, and you read it and you come away with all the information.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, and it's not just it's everybody. Twitter, Google, Facebook. Just look at this. So essentially, this is a whole spy network that we're on right now, even on YouTube here. You know, that's why China doesn't want anything to do with these entities, right? Because they're spying on their own citizens in their own way. They don't want our government spying on their government, you know, and then they put the back doors in our stuff, so they're spying on them, their people, and ours. And remember, China is still the same people that we're fighting right here in this country. But yeah, Shady, This is amazing. So this is the one of nine, and then there's the two. Just shady. This is very, very easy to read, easy to understand, easy to see. And I'm glad, we're piecing it together. I mean, Amazon has the government network now in the cloud. I mean, are we, zoom out and look at what the spider web looks like, the network. Look what the network looks like. It's all owned by the CIA.
Yes, it is all the CIA, guys. All the CIA. Amazon is the CIA. Google, CIA. DARPA, CIA. Facebook, CIA. Twitter, CIA. We got to connect these dots with people that you know. This is a graphic here that I showed as we come in, but it is with the research that Matrix and I and others on Patriots United, all the stuff that we've done, finding out the ideas of the history, the Pesur, the trust, the way that they use agents, and the way that they put people in positions of family members. Lots of speculation out there. Zuckerberg is a Rothschild. Pretty decent speculation that this is who he is, because they're always coming from somewhere in the bloodline. Google and Facebook, we know from the architecture of the internet now, were invented way before. These systems were sitting on the shelves before the internet was invented. Same with YouTube and these other ideas of deep state abilities to collect data on you. You're like, what is this? What is it for? What does it mean? It literally is you. Whoever it is, if you're an American and you're thinking about this stuff and you wonder why this applies, it applies because they want every piece of information on you. They want that app on your phone to be able to track what you buy at the grocery store, to be able to track what books you are reading, to be able to see what periodicals you're interested in, to see how you lean in your political effect. We had Jack Dorsey on the Matrix Groove Hour earlier. We showed a clip of him on Joe Rogan's show this past week. And my goodness at that guy and the lies. I mean, just lie after lie after lie. He looks down. He makes excuses. Joe Rogan asks him specifically, "Do you read people's DMs?" He's like all looking down, like, "Oh no, oh, no, not unless there's some sort of complaint." And we actually played some video with a lady who was doing a little bit of body language analysis on that. Very, very interesting to watch them lie in real time and to not be. You can kind of see that maybe they're ashamed, but not really. Like, they don't really care. They're just like really trying to just get out of there and not be questioned anymore. Maybe is sort of their angle with that.
Just think, they're more afraid of the people that are controlling them than they are you and me. And when a government or somebody high up is more afraid of the people above them and not the people, that's when you get a tyrannical government. So they're not afraid of us anymore. They call us sheep. We're sheep to them. We're feeders. We're useless eaters. And it's time for them to be afraid again.
It's time for them to know that we're not going to lay around and take this stuff anymore. We're not going to just say, "Oh, okay, it's fine to track us." Once enough people are awake to this, I mean, how many? What is it like? There's over 1 billion Facebook users. Like, what is it? It's ridiculous. Whatever it is.
Right now, Michael Cody just asked a question: could Denver Airport have nexus to chemtrails?
Yes,
absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
And a lot of people say Q doesn't talk about the chemtrails. I mean, he doesn't talk exactly. He does say talks about the blue skies, right? He does talk about skies. The Q team. They also talk about the chemicals in the big pharma. I mean, that's what this is all about. He didn't say chemtrails per se, but it's all part of it. If everything gets defunded, this global tyrannical spider web, right? There's no more chemtrails.
Yeah, and maybe I will. I'm going to divert right there real quick. Since you brought up the chemtrails, I want to drop you guys. You started releasing information as well about the Denver airport. We are going to go into that. I know you guys are excited to talk about that. I'm excited to talk about that. But here you go. Here's you something to dig into. Some interesting information out there from Geoengineering Watch. I have this up here. I was going to mention it, but check this out. This is an article from July 4th of 2012. And here is a piece that was put together quite some time ago about the chemtrail reality and what some of the whistleblowers put out. And this is secondhand information, obviously, but we are taking a lot of this older stuff more serious, especially since Q has been pointing us back to a lot of the information. But the name, look at this, Evergreen Air is a CIA front company to chemical operations within the U.S. based out of Marana Air Park in Tucson and McMinnville, Oregon, near Portland. Major missing piece of the grand conspiracy has been targeted by a drunk pilot in a small town 30 miles east of the Pacific Ocean in Oregon, in the center of a major global operation at McMinnville, Oregon. An inebriated pilot attempted to impress one of the pretty ladies with tales of his secret mission. This was an account someone got out of a pilot who was talking about flying all the air missions out of McMinnville, Oregon. And interestingly enough, this is called Evergreen Air. So to give you a little bit of who's code name Evergreen?
Clinton, Hillary.
Right. So interesting, guys. So we are paying attention to the chemtrail stuff. I think Q has information about that. I have noticed a reduction in the amount of spraying, but it is definitely still occurring. I live out here in Oregon, and this time of year, there's not a lot of clear skies to be able to see, but definitely still happening.
Yep.
So I've got that article
South
there.
Florida too.
I'm going to
South Florida. We have them as well. Keep it. They're still spraying, like you said.
Right. It may have reduced some, but it's still happening. So we're not stopping paying attention to this stuff. Maybe just because someone's not directly talking about it, we're talking about it. We're bringing it up here. We're also bringing up other issues that people won't talk about either. I'm going to bounce back over here to the Facebook thing, and our great moderator out there, Poussaint, our digger in the trenches with us every single day, put together an amazing thread for you guys about who Facebook is and what companies. And this is so interesting to showcase for you guys, because we can go through here on this nice little chart. It starts in 2005. Remember, we just looked at, actually, I think I skipped that. I'm sorry. I'm going to step back real quick. There's one other post here to highlight this. Pentagon kills LifeLog project. Facebook starts the same day. Literally the same day. Pentagon kills LifeLog project on February 4, 2004. And on February 4, 2004, the company Facebook comes online. Facebook, how interesting. We're going to go more into it here. But you're going to see this is 2004. And then look what starts to happen so quick. I mean, we had MySpace at that point. There were a couple other social media things going on. But man, that stuff sure did fall by the wayside real quick when Facebook came to the party. And we're going to find out a little bit more about that in a second. But look at all of the tech/other companies that they bought and how much they were buying this stuff for. And some of the things that they actually were. About Face was bought in August of 2005, and then Parakeet was bought in July of 2007. And then moving through the pictures, you can see 2008 moving to 31 million for Connect You, Friend Feed for 47 million, and then like Octazin down to DiviShot. All of these things that Facebook is buying up through the years as they become what? A literally mining your data for free. They can take every piece of information that they collect off of you, no matter what app they use or what and then they can sell it to people that want the information without you even knowing that you're giving the information up. And that's including what you say on the phone. That's including what you type in direct messages. That's including what pictures you share. That's including what, things that you may look at on the web, okay? All being tracked if that app is on your phone. And we've also learned that app being on your phone really isn't that important because they can still turn it on and off without it. And so then going through here, look at this. Company after company after company. Thanks so much, Poussaint. Drop that thread out there again if you guys would for me. But look at this stuff, guys. Into Instagram, just that's 2012 since they bought Instagram already. Matrix. Look how long that's been. And then it doesn't stop there. It goes on and on and on. I'm going to highlight this if you want to maybe say a couple things while I'm highlighting these pictures for these guys to see in order here.
Yeah, I mean, basically what you're seeing here is two things, right? I mean, obviously, they're shell companies tasked with a certain app or whatever to benefit Facebook, and they just, buy them, bring them into the fold once it's incorporated. They're all in QTEL. They're all finance. They're all, part of the plan, their plan, if you will, of the tyrannical cyber, cyber web that they have us in, or want to get us in. But also they're buying companies that might compete as well, to stop them. So it's just Prasad, this was a great thread. It's just amazing. Look at all the money, Shady. I mean, that's your money, guys. That's our taxpayer money, basically. You got to understand this.
And imagining that is so hard for people to put together. This is a project that your money paid to develop on the side by the CIA. They used the money to develop all of this infrastructure against you to find out information about you, and then they tricked you into saying, "Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. It's free." The word "free" gets people, it sucks you in. And this is, like you said, this is money that they've collected from selling your data, and they bought other companies only to use these other companies to pull in your data that's connected to those companies, right? I mean, anytime, because you're going to connect. If you're
$32 billion, Shady.
It's insane. Look at that.
Yeah, and what people don't realize too is, when we went through this big tech boom in the 90s, 2000s, late 90s, we were building all of this fiber optic networks up and down, everywhere, global crossing going across the Atlantic, all of these different fibers going up and down the East Coast, West Coast, going over to Chicago, over to you guys. I mean, everywhere. And then the tech boom failed, and all this fiber was sitting empty. And we paid for that too, essentially. They get tax breaks from us, and their corporations, and obviously they're part of the Federal Reserve, which is the DTCC. It's just all it's a con. It's the big con, as Q calls it. And we're calling you guys out. And I see our president with this executive order on 1221, corruption and crimes against humanity, man. So, Shady, stay the course, man. This is amazing.
And think about maybe something like the idea of what's going on with the post office. Connect this to the post office real quick, and what Amazon is doing to the post office. Now we have a situation where we have a company created by the CIA to set up a system so they can find every single thing that you would buy and undermine most of U.S. business at the same time through this new system of distribution from the web. Okay, so now you have Amazon, who has a $600 million contract with the government to store the 17 intelligence agencies' cloud data. Okay, well, they're breaking your postal system. They're breaking it out there. You want to understand some maybe more in-depth reality about your republic. The Postal Service is a cornerstone in our republic, a cornerstone. Reason for that is communication. Even though we live in a world right now where we communicate electronically, the Postal Service is vital to the functioning of your republic. I would argue, much like America making steel here, okay, or America making their own products, the idea that the post office is the postmaster general is not that far down in line whenever it comes to crazy stuff happening in government. So this is a major issue that Amazon is doing, and it looks to me from the outside, whenever you start to think, okay, what are these people? What are they actually doing? It really does look to me like they're attempting to destroy the Postal Service. And remember, the Postal Service and the USPS are different things. The United States Post Office, I meant to say, and the United States Postal Service are two different things. One thing that a lot of people don't realize out there is that you do not have to have an address to have mail delivered. Prior to the this octopi that is on us out there, you could have a general delivery box, and you still can. You do not have to have a box to have your mail delivered general delivery, and your general delivery reality does not have a zip code. So you're actually entering into a different system whenever you use things like zip codes and addresses, because really it was settled a long time ago that you could never be anywhere all the time ever. So the idea that you would have an address was something that people didn't really cop to very much 100 years ago. They weren't really willing to admit to you where they live, okay? Reason for that. So this is interesting to me just because you can see a deep state creature coming in as Amazon and usurping the postal system. I mean, what's the debt now this last year? I mean, I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know that the post office is in severe debt right now, and you're seeing cooperation behind the scenes between Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Twitter and all these companies. They're coming after your republic. This is one front. They're fighting your republic. Not a lot of people are seeing it. Not a lot of people think it's important, but it really, really is. And I think the president is going to do a little something about that. Obviously, it's further down on the list, but we can't continue to give Amazon free shipping everywhere around the country. It's just unsustainable. They're going to have to change that model, and you guys own it. So you guys own Amazon, and Amazon is deteriorating your republic. We have to start speaking out about that. But we have to start speaking out about that more so than we are, and be aware of it. So here's one of the articles that Q pointed us to. I'm going to drop you guys this link here. I'm not sure how far the stream is behind me, but I'm dropping the article anyway for you guys that Q dropped about the restructure of Building 8. And this goes into separating projects into reality labs, portal groups, I'm not going to read this, drop it to you. But Facebook is restructuring its experimental hardware efforts and giving its moonshot projects a home within the AR/VR research division. Restructuring reported by Business Insider didn't result in any layoffs, but did see some shifts in teams as old Building 8 group rebranded to Portal. Q posting us that the person who, this Regina lady, I showed you the picture of it earlier, is from DARPA. Okay, DARPA, right? Now we see this with the Facebook. Then we see this one here is the pen that I think could very well be John Huber. It still hasn't been confirmed. Lots of people think that that's John Huber. And then I am going to go into reading this one because I've read this so many times in my life. I'm going to read it on the air because this is your power. This is your power right here in Q Post 2987. Never in our history has a communications project such as this taken place. Read that again. Never in our history has a communications project such as this taken place. That doesn't mean American history. It means the history of the world. We're doing something that has never even been attempted here. Return power back to the people. Truth, transparency, and equal justice under the law. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are most disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. New guards. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, handed on for them to do the same. Ronald Reagan. United we stand, July 4th, 2019. Where we go one, we go all. This is what you're doing. You are restructuring your government. You have deemed your government inept. You have now deemed your government as a usurper of your republic. That is what the information that we just went over showed you about Facebook. Your government using this information, weaponizing it against you, weaponizing it against your friends, more than likely on many, many levels out there, blackmailing people with this information. How easy would it be to blackmail the Facebook people out there? Anyone who's experienced that, I'm sure the celebrity layer of our reality has a lot more stories about that than anyone will ever come forward and tell us all. That's the critical aspect of Q. And that's the critical aspect of you and the president. The president has the bully pulpit, unlike any bully pulpit ever created on planet Earth. Very, very dangerous position for someone to be in against the deep state. They never thought she would lose. They never thought they would ever have someone who made it all the way to that position without being compromisable. They never thought someone could become president without first being a governor, or first being a senator, or first being a representative, or some other government / ties that compromise and blackmail them. You're getting this information right here because of the person that you helped elect and because of the person in the White House that you support, and Matrixx and I support. And this sounds disturbing to say that we are overthrowing, but we're not overthrowing. We are throwing off the swamp that is pretty much permeated our whole republic. Getting rid of that swamp layer it isn't like doing a math problem. It's messy. People do things that you're not expecting them to do. Every single aspect of it cannot be laid out in stone. So things move, things become adjusted. But the information that we have now, connecting Facebook, Google, straight to DARPA. This next post here, 2988, define LifeLog. DARPA, an anthology-based subsystem that captures, stores, and makes accessible the flow of one's experience in and interactions with the world in order to support a broad spectrum of associates, assistants, and other system capabilities. The objective of the LifeLog concept was to be able to trace the threads of an individual's life in terms of events, states, and relationships. And it has the ability to take in all of the subject's experience, from phone numbers dialed, email messages viewed, to every breath taken. Step made and place gone. Define Facebook. The Facebook, which is what the FBI used to call the book of faces for the mafia types. The Facebook service can be accessed from devices with internet connectivity such as personal computers, tablets, and smartphones. After registering, users can create a customized profile revealing information about themselves. Users can post text, photos, and multimedia of their own devising and share it with other users as friends. Users can use various embed apps and receive notifications of their friends' activities. Users may join common interest groups. Compare and contrast DARPA senior employees at Facebook. DARPA terminates program February 4, 2004. Facebook founded February 4, 2004. DARPA equals Facebook. Start entering that into your conversations with normies. They don't believe you, that is fine. But start entering this into the conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the one that we have to try to figure out and decode. I think Q is saying DARPA equals Facebook.
This is not direct comms.
See, you don't need to be a decoder. That was very cut and dry, guys.
Then that's what he was. That's what Matrixx was pointing out at the beginning.
Yeah.
The drops have changed to a direct communication to patriots, about patriots, with patriots, so that we can be united in this message of. Who knows? We're not looking to destroy Facebook. If we own it, we're looking to make it legitimate, right? We're looking to make it an actual experience where you could choose if you wanted your data to be seen by others, and maybe you could actually have some sort of monetary gain from allowing yourself to be part of that program. That should be the way the capitalist system works. What else? What else are we going to do with all of these things? You know, who says public utility? And most anons think that it should be, these systems should be turned into a public utility. That, you know, Twitter is an amazing tool. I agree. Twitter is an amazing tool. It doesn't work so good whenever you're shadow banned or on the other side of it. But let's say we had Twitter that was free and open, and everybody's information was exposed to a certain percentage of the people that are following you consistently. Instead of some things that you tweet no one sees, and some things that you tweet some people see. It should be even. It should be no algorithms in it. And whenever Jack was there with Rogan and he was asked about, you know, what is it that you guys are focusing on? He said, oh yeah, well, you know, it's the elections, and then well, it's mainly the elections. He said it outright. He really honestly said that Twitter's main job was to monitor the elections and keep information away from people. Keep the other side from seeing the side. And he even said it in kind of like this backwards mirrored way of, oh, we want to make sure people aren't in an echo chamber.
Yeah, right. That's why I highlighted that clip. And they were talking about how if somebody doxes somebody, they take them right off Twitter.
I know. I saw that too. Yeah. Well, yeah. We watched that not happen.
Yep. I'm a witness and a victim.
All the Patriots out there are victims. You know, that's one thing that's coming around on these companies is we're not going to stand for this as Americans. The only reason they're getting away with it is because we don't know. And every day that you guys get, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 more people to come online and to start paying attention to this information, well, that is less and less and less they're winning. That person starts thinking for themselves, and then maybe move right here into this next one of 2989. Logical thinking. Did DARPA complete and build and code taxpayer-funded LifeLog program? After completion, was there fear the public wouldn't accept the adoption if known it was the Department of Defense or a CIA-backed company? Now let me think. Would I... Do you believe people would join a platform knowing it was under the control of the CIA and the federal government? No. How do you lure the masses into entering all their personal info and private messages, their LifeLog, onto a new platform? Do you make it cool? How did Facebook supposedly start and launch? Ivy League only? Develop a trend and or following? How do you keep the project running without the public taxpayer funds? DOD reported LifeLog was terminated to Congress and the Senate. Define black budget. Did Hollywood push? Do people follow the stars? Competitors systematically attacked MySpace to prevent the competition. The largest collective social media platform in the world, billions logged, is owned and operated covertly by the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States of America. The more you know, Q. That was all capital letters, Matrix. This is an encoded message. I want to read it to you again, just so maybe you can help us decode this. The largest collective social media platform in the world, billions logged, is owned and operated covertly by the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States of America. The more you know. Plain English, guys. Take that statement to your friends and do not, please, get over the idea of how they're going to look at you at this point. We are deep in this fight, guys. We are inside over enemy lines, attacking them inside the castle walls, coming at them with all of our weapons and all of our memes and all of our words. Don't be shy about this. Tell your friends who are addicted to Facebook. Say, look at this. This is LifeLog. This is the information. This is not hidden. We did an episode, a premiere with Mr. Ben Davis Jr. He may be out there with us tonight. I'm not sure if he's joining us, but he showed you the architecture for the social media platforms that were drawn up. I mean, the whole thing, the patents and stuff in like 72, 73, all of it, talking about trending, talking about hashtags, talking about where your eyes are looking on the screen, where your hand is on the mouse, how you, how you get emotionally dopamine whenever you have notifications. All of it mapped out in the 70s. And at the same time, We had someone working in the Patton Rose Law Firm office who was systematically undermining every single thing that was coming out. And that lady's name was Miss Clinton, behind a lot of this. Okay. Al Gore, remember how everybody laughed at Al Gore whenever he says that he invented the internet? It is more true than most people are willing to admit, guys. Here's another article. Now we're going to we've moved through some Facebook. Now we're going to move into some Google. Google's true origin partly lies in the CIA and NSA research grants for mass surveillance. This is an article Q pointing us to. Google's true origin. Let me correct this headline. Google's true origin completely lies in the CIA and NSA research grant for mass surveillance. Google was created long before you ever saw an internet. Was not a startup company. Facebook was not a startup company by some guy on campus. All of the stuff that you have been told by academia in America is wrong. Whether it be socialist programming, whether it be chemicals are good for you, whether it be perfumes are safe, whether it be vaccines are safe. All of this stuff that has been information that has come out of academia in the last 100 years is a farce. It's farcical. It's wrong. The diet, everything, all of it is wrong. You, us, we have a massive, massive job to do to wake people up to these realities in the future. Google's true origin is deep state, guys. Google, Facebook, Twitter, deep state. Here, QPost 2992. DARPA is Google. Regarding review past drops, major steps underway to challenge these control pockets. Okay? Not being hidden anymore. Q isn't holding back anymore because we are past the point of this information being dangerous for us to have and people being able to target us because we're spreading this information around. Okay? That is what I take from this. That is what I'm hoping that most of you are taking for this, that we've achieved this level of awareness where we're secure in the information. When Q says we have it all, he means you. You have all the information. What is it that we have never had as a collective society? The information. What's really going on behind the scenes. Now we have that. Look how powerful that is. We don't have to flaunt it. We just have to show it to people who are willing to pay attention to it. And you red pill one person at a time. You're usually not going to red pill 25 people at the same time. You have too many arguments, too many people coming at you. One person at a time. Wake them up slowly. Wake them up gently. Be honest. Be truthful, but don't exaggerate. Don't use the sarcasm in those moments. The sarcasm can be used with other red pill people. The funny stuff can be used with other red pill people. But try not to insert that in a moment where you have someone asking you a question. If you find another human being out there, Anons, please let me say this. If you find another Anon or human that you know out there that asks you any question that has anything to do with them questioning the narrative, the mainstream narrative, please take 10 minutes. Please take 5 minutes and just stop. Whatever it is that you're busy, that you're doing. If you get a moment with someone, take it, please. Because I've noticed a lot of people are coming online quicker. In my personal life, a few different instances in just the last month or so, where I can very easily point someone to a couple of things, and then and they're calling me a week later, going, "Oh my goodness!" And I'm saying, "Well, you should look into QAnon." You're like, "What? What is that?" Like maybe just type in QAnon in Google search and just do a little perusing about what is QAnon, and don't pay attention to anything you see posted by the mainstream media. And then boom, 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 over and over again. Whoa, what is this? Is this really going on? You get a couple of those questions, and let me tell you, you have taught a person fish for information or life. And there is nothing more important to this movement than that moment. So I would really implore you, if you catch a moment with someone and you second guess speaking with them, third guess it, and stay with that conversation a little bit longer and see if you can't suggest something to them that makes them snap out of it, okay? that's a little bit of what I wanted to say about the about your friends and family, because that's what this all means. That's what this is all boiling down to. We're gonna skip here to 2994. People are pawns in their sick game of global domination. People are divided to prevent a rising of the people. People are divided and taught to fight themselves instead of the ruling class. Race versus race, religion versus religion, political versus political, class versus class, sex versus sex. When you are divided, you are weak. When you are weak, you have no power. When you have no power, you have no control. Stay strong, Patriots. Stay united, not divided. You are what matters. You awake is their greatest fear. You. Those are a few that I wanted to go over with you that were extremely important to me to talk about before we get into some of the last little tidbits that I wanted to go over. But I'm going to throw it back to Matrix and see if you have anything you would like to enter into the conversation about the whole Google Facebook thing, and maybe talk to them a little bit out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of, things going on, like with all of this surveillance. I think this is painting a pretty clear picture. Really, it's simple. This is the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is basically where people, process, and devices are all connected to the internet. You heard me correctly. People, process, and devices. Right now, you've got all of this smart stuff happening with the buildings. The IoT, Internet of Things, connects everything. Everything's plugged into a router, which is plugged into a computer, which is amazing. You got your thermostats and your lights all measured, saving buildings, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in electric and all that stuff. But the part people is right now, like maybe with our cell phones or a lanyard when you check into a building or what have you, or walk around, but they essentially want us to actually be connected. So we must understand that this technology can be used for good, but so far it has not. In the one thing that has been good, in my opinion, is the World Wide Web, where we are today, talking on their systems that they gave us, and we're actually getting a voice out there. So, but just essentially, we are being listened to. China doesn't want us to have Facebook over there. There's a reason. So, these Q posts have been just absolutely out of the park. It's the best way. Just have them read one of two, one of nine, and two of nine. Have people that have no clue just go through it with them really quick and say, "What do you think of this stuff?" It'll just answer itself. I mean, it's very amazing. I just I'm so glad that these drops happened, and Shady did a good job covering them as well.
And 3,000 now.
3,000 Q drops.
Yeah, over 3,000 now we're at. So
wow.
Look at the information. This is 17, 18 months. So that's what, 300, 400, 500 days. So roughly, 5 or 6 drops every day average for a year and a half. That is an immense amount of information, and it looks to me to be that the amount to come is probably the same amount that we've already went through, as far as some of the different things that we know that Q could go into around the world, and maybe to pivot from the Facebook Google thing. I wanted to focus tonight on the Facebook Google thing mostly because almost any human being out there that has friends and family, they're dealing with people that are on Facebook. They're stuck into Facebook. One of the reasons that we created the website intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com. If you're not over there, please come over and join us. But one of the reasons that we created that website is because of the reality of the redirect through the social media platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, that are censoring not only what you say, but they're censoring what you see. So that's a two-way street right there. They're making sure that you're
television.
That's right. And the incorporation of that really does have a hypnotic spell on someone. If someone doesn't use anything for news other than Facebook, they are lost out there. So that's that's our go through and around on Facebook. Poussaint, that thread was amazing and brilliant. Thank you so much for that this week, because that red pilled a lot of people. That thread spread quickly, and it really did penetrate and red pill a lot of people this week to say, wow, how is it that they're able to collect this much data And, it doesn't matter if I take it off my phone. It doesn't matter if I delete the app. It doesn't matter if it was never on my phone. Really? So now we've gone into the malicious spyware and the stuff that's actually on the InQtel chips. And we skipped over a little bit of that stuff in the Q post. But like I said, we've got a lot to go over. And I wanted to get to this topic here, which Q posted us this article. And I'm not kidding, which comes from the Chive. But there's so many different websites out there where information like this is stored. But what you are getting ready to see as I scroll down here are the murals on the wall in the Denver airport. This was dropped to us, this exact link here. I'm going to copy this, drop it to you guys right now. But this is this is getting me going just because we had so much information about this so long ago, and watching them as they were building this airport, we knew what was going on. All of us knew what was going on. You see the horse here out front, symbolism of the red eyes, the blue horse. You're the
Lucifer.
Right, you're greeted at the airport. The Mustang, the New Mexico artist, was one of the earliest public art commissioned by the Denver International Airport in 93, standing 32 feet tall, weighing 9,000 pounds, blue cast fiberglass sculpture. This thing actually fell on the person who made it and killed him and is still up there at the Denver airport. A couple interesting things about this airport. One, Denver had a fully functioning airport. It wasn't that old. It was pretty good. There was like 5 miles to town. This thing is like 25 miles outside of town on 53 acres in the middle of nowhere. And they removed so much material from underneath that place. It was insane. We had people that were there actually, Matrixx, way back whenever, you're scanning the web for information. And they were posting pictures. They were working around on the project. They were guys that were like, building the tent stuff and some of the outside things. And they're like, look at this. And they were taking pictures. I remember this one guy had this huge long file prior to Reddit or anything really, that had all these pictures that he was taking of the soil, because they were moving all the soil out from underground and they were piling it up, and it would take them a couple days to move it away from there. And he's like, what are they doing down there? We have, I'm in charge of operations here, and I have no blueprints or anything of anything going on anywhere else, but they keep digging and digging and digging. All these trucks keep rolling out from underneath there. So we know there's lots and lots of stuff built under there. We kind of think that more than likely they connected a huge amount of the underground tunnels that traverse the country, if not the planet, under there. And so Q posted us this exact post, and he's showing us some very interesting pictures. Here we have the AUAG, which would logically be the symbol for gold and silver, but that meaning is called into question when you find out one of the founders of the airport was discovered a near deadly strain of hepatitis known as the Australia antigen, called AUAG. It has been rumored that could be a potent weapon in biological warfare. Symbol rests on the ground directly in front of the biological warfare mural. So, okay, here we go. The next picture, Denver International Airport. Look at this. March 19, 1994. Coming around on 25 years right now of this dedication to the airport. Time capsule beneath this dome contains messages and memorabilia to people of Colorado in 2094. Matrixx, I want to know what's under there.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, gosh, what do you think is under there, man?
I don't know.
mean,
Do you think they put like all the gold under there, or like what? What
I really do think something like that is happening. And there's been the theories of the underground train down there, so I've dug into it. I think a lot of us have, and it's God knows what's down there. That's an awful lot of earth that moved out of there, Shady. And like you just pointed out, and it sure would be nice to know. And apparently, didn't I see that Obama's going to be there this weekend?
You paid for it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
since we paid for it, I think that all we have to do is really start asking the question. And as I scroll down here, you're going to see other murals. Now, these murals do not look to me like fascinating, loving, productive formations of society type murals. To me, this looks strikingly like what we saw happen in California this past year, with these massive fires amongst the redwood trees and with the city in the backdrop near the ocean. So look at that. Maybe even looking down on San Francisco there. People running for their lives. Here we have these all of these people out and over top of the death symbol with the soldier laying there with firearm. All of this stuff is very unusual. Look at here. We have war, violence, and hate. Mirror, think mirror, everything being perpetrated. We understand that their world they want us to live in is a sabotaged, desolate wasteland where no one functions and no one can communicate. Look at this as you zoom in. I was once a little child who longed for other worlds, but I am no more a child, for I have known fear. I've learned to hate. How tragic then is youth, which lives with enemies, with gallows, rapes. Yet I still believe I only sleep today. That I'll wake up a child again and start to laugh and pray. What is that? That's a mural. Then you have these gargoyles. This is stuff that we were questioning so long ago, man. And to see Q make the drop, just this one page, number one, it being on the Chive, which makes me think that there's a lot more of this information that used to be on the internet that we can no longer find that is still out there.
Yeah, and I also think too that it was wild that Q dropped this, and I was thinking, why would Q drop it? And I think, I don't know, somebody came up with it, and I'm like, that's it. The stone right on the New World Airport, the Mason stone, the cornerstone, whatever they call it.
Yep.
And it said March 19th. And it was 25 years ago, 2 5s, 5 times 5, 5, 5. So I thought was that why Q did it? But I mean, Q dropped the Denver airport, guys. That's just insane.
Well, what day do we fall on 11 days from now?
The 19th, Shady.
So we're on day minus 11, and Q posted a drop to the Denver airport, which has a cornerstone that says March 19th, 1994, with the Freemason symbol on it.
And Q has talked about the Freemasons as well. So, I mean, just
25 years, 5 times 5.
5, 5.
So right here on this, I'm going to read this little bit of, and we can get an idea of the slush fund that is the Denver International Airport. This guy says, I'm not a conspiracy guy in any way, but I fancy myself as a beer drinker. So take this post more the spirit of what the WTF than an accusation, but anybody who has flown through Denver International Airport tell you this place has a few fries short of a Happy Meal. Let's start with the beginning. Denver International Airport was commissioned in 1989 at a cost of $1.7 billion. The airport was finished in 1995, 2 years late, at a cost of $4.8 billion. Roughly 3.1 over budget. The airport was privately funded and nobody really knows by who. A marker stone in the terminal reads the airport was funded by the New World Airport Commission. It should also be noted that Denver had a completely functional airport. Stapleton, many people liked just fine, 6 miles from Denver, and all there was really no need to build an airport in the first place, unless you needed a construction project up above to mask a larger construction project happening down below. And this is where the conspiracy begins. Many people believe that the largest underground bunker in the world lies beneath the Denver airport, specifically a 360,000 square foot bunker built by the New World Order to house the elite in case of economic collapse or nuclear holocaust that they create. The construction of the Denver airport was necessitated as a dumb show, an above-ground construction project to hide the creation of something that lies beneath, hiding in plain sight. Hence, that the Denver airport is hiding something big are everywhere. Visitors to the Denver airport will immediately notice a number of mysterious Masonic symbols and murals clearly depicting the end of the world. They are hard to miss. Many believe these murals have a deeper meaning, which can be gleaned by the initiated in the New World Order, the Freemasons. So here, as we scroll down to a few more of these, Matrix was pointing out how earlier today, let's see if I can find the one, how much like Bank of America this one looks like. Oh, where is it? It's not in this.
Yes, and what is Bank of America, guys? Do you remember?
Okay,
Bank of America. That's right. It used to be Lancaster Bank. Then it became like Nations Bank and a couple of others, and here we are with the Bank of America. So look at that, Shady. I mean, check that out.
Yeah, that I thought that picture was actually in this list. Is it not? The picture of the boy in the pyramid. I don't see it on this page.
Is that where you at? Is it Vigilant Citizen?
Yeah, I'm on. Actually, this is the Chive link that Q dropped here. I thought it was.
Yeah. No, it's on Vigilant Citizen.
Okay. Maybe if somebody could throw me that link, I could actually pull that up here for these. I
Get
thought
it
I had
for you.
that. I thought that was in the same list. But you guys can see, you can see that this is kind of not really funny. You say 1.8 billion turned into 4.8 billion. What do you do at 4.8? They built a tent. Matrix, it's built out of cloth. I mean, 4.8 billion for some concrete laying out there and some you know, some terminals. I mean, really? That does not
I dropped it in YouTube, and I'm dropping it in the Discord for you right now.
Yeah, put it in there, and I will get it to them. There it is. Thank you. I wanted to make sure I showed you guys this. This connects what we were just speaking about with the Bank of America mural that matches up so interestingly to. Here it is. There you go.
Yeah, and this is the pesos, right? We know that so the symbolism will be their downfall. Well, here we are now connecting the Denver airport to the Bank of America, as you will see.
To their symbols, to Moloch, to sacrifices, to gargoyles, to you name it.
The black sun, the pyramids, the burning bush, they're mocking, all in the headquarters of Bank of America.
And so who would be the unknown sources that funded something that was $4 billion over budget?
Yeah.
You can't make it up. I mean, that's part of why I, being a red pill person in the mid 90s, was no fun. Because no one would pay any attention to me at all.
That's right. I mean, it was funny though. I was able to always get through to some people, you know. I was kind of like, people are like, you should teach this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, right. Like any university would have us teach anything like this, Shady, right?
Maybe that's going to change because we have a brave crew of people out there who know the truth. And if you think that what we're doing is going to be over whenever Hillary Clinton is arrested, you're far from correct. This world needs to be reorganized. This world needs to be re-educated. We have to educate adults on what they eat and what you put on your body, and that chlorine isn't safe. And whatever it costs you to filter out the chlorine from your showers and from your water, I don't care if it costs you every dime you've got. It is worth it. You guys have no idea how toxic this stuff is and how sensitive the human form is to chlorine in your water. Not to mention the fluoride. Okay, we got that issue too. But the chlorine in your water. Swimming pools. If you own swimming pools out there, I want to consider not being in the swimming pool or switching over to a saltwater system or something, because that stuff is really detrimental to you, or spending less time in it. But this is
yeah. And by the way, the new "And We Know" video, Serial Brain Decode, talks exactly what you were just talking about, Shady. So after this, go check that out over there at "And We Know."
Great news. Thanks for bringing that up. So this is how we're connecting it, everyone. This is how we're connecting your world to your friend's world to your real world. You're going to drive through Denver International Airport, you know, and you're like, oh, what are you doing here? What are you looking at here? I mean, let's take a look. Let's take a look at how they mock you real quick, and then we're going to go into a couple things before we wrap up here.
That's a little too close for comfort, lady.
Oh, damn.
What, you never seen a talking gargoyle before? Welcome to Illuminati headquarters. I mean, Denver International Airport.
This is awesome.
Hello? Do I know you?
Are you hungry?
Oh, I'm starving. You got anything for me? Those flowers look delicious.
Oh, it's because of the conspiracy.
Oh, it's because of the conspiracy. Look at me. I'm a little know-it-all. Will you get back over here? I got a question about this conspiracy. Did you have to buy an extra seat for your hat, sir? Sir, are you stealing a desk? Sir, you have resting, confused face. Do you have a favorite animal or pet?
A caterpillar.
A caterpillar? Wouldn't you rather have a gargoyle?
No!
Yes. You know, you can actually put the phone down and have a conversation with me. But no, I'm a millennial. I've got to post it. I've got to snap face it and Twitter book it. Excuse me, miss, I've got a stain that needs some polishing. Can I borrow your cleaning cart?
Oh, no!
I need your help. Guess what my favorite food is?
What?
No, I want you to guess.
Human?
Cumin. Yes, I love cumin.
I said human.
Oh, I thought you said cumin. I'm a real big spice guy. Furry hat guy, I can't believe you are wearing one of my friends.
Hey, this isn't your friend.
It used to be until you put it on your head, man.
How old are you?
Well, 243 years old now. I look good for my age, don't I?
Yeah, you work out.
All the time. You should see my squats.
You're such a sweet talker.
Will you take me back home with you?
Let's go. I have some space in my backpack.
Actually, I think you have too much baggage for me.
Putting stuff right there in your face so that you can see it is their trick, guys. That is the trick of the deep state. They make sure that they are not hiding it, and they actually end up convincing you to believe it, right? They suck us in, and then they convince us that the things that are obvious are incorrect. It's obvious to me that putting chemicals on your skin is not a productive reality. It's obvious to me that eating Roundup is a poisonous reality. It's obvious to me that having a vaccination is not a good idea because I do not trust them. We have this whole thing coming down just to give you a little bit more about what Q was pointing to here. This last post, also the guy, the fellow in Iran there with the "Make Iran Great Again" sign here. That's what this is. So worldwide, guys, number one, this is amazing, and you are everywhere. And freedom isn't something that humanity is ashamed of or afraid of. It's something that we're attempting to attain, and it's been kept from us by our gatekeepers. So make Iran great again, because Iran used to be a thriving nation, standing where we go all with this anon here. And then this Q post here linking us to Facebook and the news that's coming. Elizabeth Warren unveils plan to break up big tech, including Amazon, Google, Facebook. Elizabeth Warren says she wants to break up big tech companies. Facebook shoots down pages ads sharing vaccine misinformation. This is huge. Pause for 30 seconds here and explain to you, this is huge. They are getting ready. They are shutting down anyone on YouTube right now that's anti-vaccine, that has any information that says that it's anti-vaccine. Anyone in the discussion on YouTube, Google, Facebook, Twitter, they're coming after people who are telling the truth about vaccinations, which is it is a pseudoscience. Yes, there were early on leaps made in medicine to prevent things like polio from spreading in the population. And yes, some reality of vaccinations do give you a level of immunity against certain diseases, but it is not, and I repeat, it is not proven science. It is a charlatan method of delivery of who knows what. Okay? Who knows what is really in this stuff. They have a list. It says it. Any of you guys ever take it to a lab and break it down, see what's in this stuff? You have no idea. Just like you have no idea what's in the pills, the pharmaceuticals. I had the blessing of a friend when I was really young who told me, do not trust the pharmaceuticals. I don't care what it is they say you need. Don't trust them. If it's something past the Tylenol, I don't even recommend you trust that. So here we're seeing Q giving us the future look in the news, talking about the vaccines. I can guarantee you I've seen the pressure building. I think that's the way they're going to come after Q people a little bit, is they're going to take the angle of you're an anti-vaxxer or whatever that is. So that is part of what Q is pointing us to. You see there with the thing I played you for the Denver International Airport, how blatant or in your face or whatever you want to call it, they've become. Anons are wise, anons are strong, anons are not buying it. That's what we're all depending on you guys to do. We're depending on you guys to take this message to the next level. And we're also depending on you guys to come over and join us, Matrix, at intheMatrixxx.com with 3X's. I'm going to take you there right now. This is this is our exciting project that we are now in a even deeper phase of putting together. We got a lot of stuff behind the scenes coming that you guys are going to love. But I wanted to bring your attention to the QSN, the QArmy social network. We've gotten quite a huge amount of response. People loving it, sharing stuff. I've seen all kinds of pictures and stuff being uploaded every day. It's really cool. Create new groups, create a page, create a space for your business, things that you're looking to sell, bring people to the platform, get people signed up so that we can start to share in a way that is outside of the stuff that we were just talking about. Something that's actually created in an organic way that has no desire to dig into the information of the anons. We simply have the desire to create a place where other people and sponsors might be interested in helping support what it is we're doing and bringing it to you for free. And literally for free, not meaning we're taking your information, meaning we're looking for other really real world solutions to providing this. And we're looking to the future of where we get the dollar back on gold. And so having something that is just as wonderful as this will not cost the same thing in the future, Matrix, once we get this debt system off of us.
Yep. We're in for something huge, and I don't even know what it's going to look like. It's going to be hard this transition. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm seeing is an extremely smooth financial transition. Actually, believe it or not, I'm seeing a system being built in the background. It's going to seamlessly shift us onto this new way of doing business and get us, hopefully we start doing things that make sense, like being able to print something larger than $100 bill for our cash realities. Then the idea that we're going to get rid of cash in our society, that goes away. Not very many privacy-loving anons are excited about the idea of us never being able to use cash. So
that's right.
Different things are happening behind the scene, but I have a really sneaking suspicion that things are going to heat up, and by the time we're back around at the Q Lounge next week, we may be in a whole nother world, Matrix.
No doubt. And I wanted to really quick let you know in the menu there at the bottom, it'll say the Q search. There's a Q, that's where it is. So if you go in the menu down at the bottom, you'll see the Q search. Also, if you're looking for the Q Army social network, hit the menu, look down, see look on the menu and see the Q Army social network to get right in there. It's also right at the top there where you see Shady's photo there on the right. That whole top bar is the social network. So get on over there. Again, I'm on a list here for the deep state. If I get taken off Twitter, God forbid, this is where I'll be to figure out how we're going to regroup. So if you guys, if I disappear someday, I'm not gone. I'm here. And we've got 3,000 members, Shady. We also have people from over 60 countries coming. We've had donations from Poland, all over, Shady. Just thank you guys very much for the support. The support with, helping us, get better, helping us, encouraging us, I should say. Thank you for the encouragement, everybody. Thank you for the support and coming to the website. I mean, this website is like 60,000 most popular website in the United States. I mean, we're on to something big, and it's only been since December 21st of last year here, Shady. So I'm so happy that this is taking off, and thank you guys for making it a reality, helping making it a reality.
Well, yeah, we had the idea of this the social network overlay to it, but we wanted to introduce it a little bit easy to see if you guys were interested in it, if you thought it was something that was worthwhile or something that you would participate in. And it really looks like, I mean, we've had to step up to a dedicated server already for this because of the amount of information you guys are out there moving around, and we're like, whoa, they're not excited about us dragging them down quite this much. So,
it's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome, and just to maybe give you guys a little bit of a brief. Right now, I'm inside the social network aspect of the site, but from here, and we're getting ready to reorganize a little bit of the way this works. But even though you're on the social media part, you still have access to your menu right here and all of the stuff that you would have just by coming to the site. So even if you're in the QSN area, you can come right here. You can go right to Twitter. You can right click on a link. You can copy it, paste it, bring it back to your page, drop it right in there, and post it here, or send it out to Facebook or Twitter or whatever other thing that you wanted to, whatever other media portal you'd like to send it to.
Other controlled deep state CIA operated social media. This is not. This is operated by Patriots, guys.
And so the last thing I want to go into here real quick is our new sponsor, Legal Shield. You'll find this link right here. We're going to get a different button put up for it soon. But this button is on the website. And what we're doing here is we're working with Legal Shield in a partner reality to help anons out there who have legal issues that need to be resolved. That, we know that tough times in the middle class from the last 30 years, it's really hard to get everything done. And one thing that seems to slip through the cracks sometimes is your legal responsibilities, whether it be making a will or small traffic citations or things that you forgot about or something you don't want to deal with or whatever. This is a great service here. For $25 a month, you can have access to an attorney and to legal help and to people that can provide you documentation or provide you templates for different legal representation processes. And so we've decided to work with Legal Shield because we've gotten great feedback from other people that use this service and say it was a great service. Matrix was saying earlier that if you're living in Florida and you'd like to go get your will done, that's not a cheap thing, but it's not an overcomplicated process. So with this service, they have I think it's almost 2 million people now who are using this service in America, and I think they're getting ready to spread worldwide, or at least in a bunch of other countries really soon. So with this, you can go on and you can become a member with Legal Shield for $25 a month. You can immediately use the service. You can call them. They'll give you a call back within 8 hours, and you can let them know what it is that's going on, and they're going to direct you to someone, whether it be, it's kind of cumbersome if you live in one state, you have property in another state, or you have issues that arise in another state, or a family member. This would be a system to help out with family members as well, not just for you. And so we wanted to talk about that. They're coming on as a helpful sponsor to us, and to kind of get into the idea that we got to pay the bills around here a little bit. And this seems like a really good way where it would work both ways for you guys and to help us a little bit.
Yep. So if you go to that link too, and also if this is something that you think that you could do for your own self, you can become an affiliate too. So there's plenty of people that'll help us. Hey, it's Di, a Patriot. Good to see you. Good evening. Thank you guys. God bless you guys, all of us, and President Trump. God bless you. So yeah, this is it. Legal Shield. It's an app. You can also just go get the free app there off the site, and that will there's free stuff there too. And if you don't decide to join now, you can join later. Whatever you guys want to do, just check it out. It's something that I believe in. I'm using. So I'm kind of coming from an experience. So far so good, guys, and thank you very much for the support.
Yeah, maybe one thing I forgot to mention was that if you are a member, or if you're part of the top 200, or if we may end up being in some Twitter class action type stuff or other deep state, we're getting ready to move back into a world where you have the right to sue these people who damage you and who damage your property and who damage your body. We're going to prove it to the mainstream reality through our information. We're going to show the mainstream the information, and we're going to debunk academia, okay? They are no longer the end all and be all of the information. As a matter of fact, they're the gatekeepers of the disinformation and the lies, which is, like I said earlier, the lie is that this stuff is safe for you. None of this stuff is safe for you guys. None of it. I'm going to now, Matrix, that we've gotten kind of that over. I have a little song that I wanted to play here at the end so that we can all just hang together and just think about what it is out here we're fighting for. Thanks so much, Jody. I mean, we appreciate you guys more than you could ever know. But I want you to listen to this, and I want you to think about who we are. I want you to think about where we're going. I want you to think about what it is that they did. And I want you to think about how it is that we are going to forgive. And I'm talking about forgive all of them. Forgive the people that have wronged you. Forgive the people that don't agree with you. Forgive the people that have stood up in opposition to you. Forgive the people that have censored you. Forgive all. Forgive yourself. And then start forgiving everybody else. Because I'm telling you right now, and I know that maybe to some people this doesn't sound relevant, but there is no greater power than that of forgiveness. And there is no greater power than that of forgiveness of yourself. I'm going to say that again. There is no greater power than the forgiveness of yourself. Start there. We're all built with shortcomings. I don't care if you were raised in a poor situation, wrong side of the tracks, or if you were raised in a gated community, in a massive house, and you had everything that you could ever want your whole life. By the time you become 20 years old, you've got problems. Period. In America, you've got problems. Whether it's exposure to the stuff in our society, whether it's not being paid attention to, whether it's having too much attention paid to you, whether it's indecisiveness about what you want to do with your life. Same. Do not put yourself in a victim role. Step out of it. Victim role prevents you from being the you that you are. 5-5. That victim role prevents you from attaining opportunity to achieve success. I don't mean it prevents you from achieving success, but it prevents you from the opportunities come to you easy. More forgiveness, more air under your journey here, more ability to speak, more ability to be free, and less intimidation happens. Turn the forgiveness inward and then turn the forgiveness outward. Remember who we are as a nation and what we mean when we say freedom and when we say America. Life getting ready to change, Anons. For all of us, you can't find that emotional connection through this movement, then please stand down and stop messing it up. Because we are on a path of winning here, and we are stepping into a world in which we have never seen before, guys, and it's exciting. And America is gonna win, and America has already won, and you have already won. You won before the first shot was fired. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. Matrix, would you like to say a couple of words before we get out of here?
No, great show, great week. 6 shows today. We didn't do any guest spots today, but we've been very active and busy. Our billboard still is in Times Square. If you have anybody over there, it's over the Ripley's, believe it or not, in Times Square, believe it or not. And check it out. There might be another billboard coming, and that's thanks to Red State Radio, Tori says, and Scott Adams. Not the Scott Adams Dilbert guy, but the Scott Adams from Red State Radio. Much appreciated for that, and Tori for having us on her show. Catch us next week as well. God bless you guys. It's been an amazing night. Keep that armor of God on. Keep memeing. Keep digging. Keep praying.
Keep winning.
Always.
Thanks, man. I really love having this guy next to me. I really love being there during the day for you guys with the Matrix Groove Hour. We've been doing those at 1 o'clock on the East Coast time during the weekdays. So staying busy. Looks like we may have a couple more of appearances next week. So everybody out there, I want you to say something positive, for the future is coming. Think it. Keep it in your head, please. Also, I want you to get out there and I want you to follow other great citizen journalists. Jordan Say, The Praying Medic, Serial Brain 2, iPod, SGT Report, We the People Insider 1776. Also, We the People Insider new website, a Drudge-like website, very good. Neon Revolt, Joe M, Storm is Upon Us, Jody, Iceman James, Lisa May Crowley, Corticon, Dustin Nemos, Blue Eyes, Abby Cook, JT Wild, X22 Report. Then we also have Blessed to Teach out there. We also have Tori Says and Red State Radio, Lionel Media, all great Anons. Please also feel free to post in the comments below on the YouTube videos. If someone has a question, don't hesitate to answer them if you have the answer. If not, maybe direct them to one of us. Maybe we can answer them. And if not, then we'll just see what we can do from there. But questions have the answers, and the questions are what's important. And we are here to spread the notion that there is a clear line between truth and the lie. And the lie is that they are the global elite. The truth is that you are the global elite, America. Americans that love freedom, that love liberty, that are standing against tyranny, that will not take socialism at all in any form. And I want you to find your power in that. Socialism will not take hold in America. I promise you that. Not as long as my heart's beating. Not as long as my republic stands armed to the teeth. Trust me. You want them? You're gonna have to come get them, Anons. Thanks so much for coming out tonight. Matrix, thanks so much to you. Thanks so much to everybody else. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for coming over. Get over, see us on intheMatrixxx.com. That's intheMatrixxx.com with 3 X's. I'm Shady Groove on Twitter with 3 O's. This man right here is at intheMatrix in Twitter with 3 X's. And I'm telling you, we're bringing pain every day. Don't hesitate to retweet. Come over, like, share, or comment to any of us. And until I guess we'll see you on Monday at 10 a.m. on the West Coast, guys. I love you so much. I love being here. You give me great energy and you keep me fired up. And let's go see what Q has to say for you next, because I promise you, we got at least 6 more big booms. Much love, guys. Have a great evening.